Hi. I've been fascinated with the idea of gravity for as long as I can remember. I've been researching and reading everything I could about gravity for at least 35 years. It's an engineer's fascination, this idea of why are we standing on the Earth? Why? As a causal mechanism. For those of you who don't know, Sir Isaac Newton described beautiful mathematics of gravity with ideas of the inverse square law that he took from Robert Hooke. Einstein took it a step further with space-time, and he described beautiful geometry, but still mathematics, still didn't get to causal mechanism of why we are being pulled down. One of the biggest challenges in science today is called the unification of gravity, classical gravity, and quantum field theory, which nobody's achieved. A few weeks ago I had a kind of a thought. It was a bit of an epiphany. It comes out of years of thinking about it, but I had a thought. It's an engineer's thought. What if gravity emerges out of a tension between mass and expansion? And I've been exploring that now for a few weeks, and I've proposed a theory called Expanse Tension Theory. And so far, it seems to be standing up, which is kind of a scary thought. So I've started to throw Expanse Tension Theory at some of the biggest problems in the universe. I can explain away dark matter. The outer rims of rotating galaxies are rotating too fast, and I can explain it. We don't need dark matter. Dark energy, the late stage expansion of the universe, again, I can explain. In fact, I can explain from the Big Bang through accelerated exponential expansion that happened, we don't know why, then why it slowed down, we don't know why. Now we have late stage expansion, we don't know why. I've modelled it, I've got a Pearson correlation coefficient of about 0.958. It beats lambda CMD at describing the expansion of the universe. I can explain star formation drop-off at the outer edges of galaxies where there's a problem. Galaxies suddenly terminate at the outer rim. Einstein predicted that they would slowly dissipate, and we don't know why. I could list a number of other phenomena as well. But here's the big thing. On Thursday, I believe, to the best of my limited mathematical ability, and I calculated the Earth's gravitational constant G using quantum field theory. Okay. And I've run it again and again and again and again, and I think it's right. Then I repeated the exercise for the sun, and it worked there too. Now, if that's true, that's the unification of gravity into quantum field theory. Okay. I can also explain quantum entanglement, because as soon as you insert the solution, you then explain a causal mechanism for quantum entanglement, or Einstein's spooky action at a distance, which I call action at a distance. Sorry, Einstein. So as a problem solver, I'm not a scientist, don't claim to be, I'm not a mathematician. But as a problem solver, when you know, you know. I've thrown about 200 cosmic phenomena at my theory, and to the best of my ability, it's identifying deviations and gaps and deltas from general relativity, from lambda CMD, from other theories, and it's plugging some holes. So it's starting to look like a plausible. And as a problem solver, if you've got one answer that solves so many things, you start to think, this could be, which is a scary thought. I'm going to paste a link to it if you're interested to have a look, but I can tell you now, what do I think it is? I've created a coupling function using the Higgs field to choose whether the mass of the universe is connected to an underlying cosmic expansion. And I've been asking the question, if cosmic expansion is happening kind of out there, why isn't it happening here? And the answers to that have come out quite profound. So I've proposed a coupling function where the Higgs and a new field proposed couple or choose to couple mass to expansion of the universe or not in different regions. And that has some really profound implications. And at the moment it seems to be working. high dense regions of space, mass becomes uncoupled from an underlying expansion of the universe. The expansion of the universe is happening through us, around us, but mass is resisting it. And that was the original engineer's thought. Tension. Tension. If it's expanding there, but it's not expanding here, there's a tension field. Now, it seems gravity and inertia and time could all be emergent from that tension field. Okay, so that's the thought process. I can actually use quantum field theory to calculate an acceleration due to gravity of 9.8 meters per second squared, which is the downward force we experience, using the idea of a tension gradient between expansion and the resistance to expansion. Okay, so I know that sounds crazy. Some of you probably didn't know I was working on that. Probably neither did I. It was like a subconscious, just trying to figure it out. Please take a look if you're interested. I think I know why you're standing on the Earth today. And I think that's the first time in history anybody's ever been able to say that. Anyway, let's finish the video. I'm standing in my fruit orchard. I'm about half an hour from Woolsthorpe Manor, where Sir Isaac Newton stood in his fruit orchard, so I'm doing it for dramatic effect. And I thought I'd just finish with one of these trees.